Hey everyone! If you caught my art video this week, then you already know what this video is about. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make patterned Procreate brushes. Procreate is a drawing app on the iPad. I use it in conjunction with my iPad Pro and my Apple Pencil. I've actually had quite a few of you guys ask how to make custom brushes, and in my Twitch stream I did a quick little tutorial on how to do it, but I decided to edit that and post it as today's DIY since not everybody here that watches my YouTube videos watches my Twitch. I wanted to make sure you guys saw it if you were the ones requesting it, so let's get started. So here's Procreate. You can see a bunch of the drawings that I've done. You may recognize a few of them from my previous art videos. So I like to use square canvases when I make brushes. It's probably not necessary, but it's just what I like to do. Click on the plus sign at the top right and select your canvas. As I just mentioned, I like square ones for this. Here's an example of a patterned brush that I made a while back while working on another piece. It's a zipper. I made a filled-in version and a line art version. And this is the piece that I made this brush for. You can see on her jacket, the zipper. Seriously, this was a lifesaver. Or a wrist saver. Anyway, back to the brush. So there are two elements of the brush that you need to prepare first, the shape and the grain. The shape is, well, the shape of the brush, and the grain is the texture of it. So let's start. With a white background and a black solid brush, draw a U shape. Since you want the edges to blend together and not look super harsh, use a soft eraser to erase the ends a little bit. Click on the wrench up top, click share, and then JPEG or PNG, and save it onto your iPad. And there we go. Shape done. Now to do the grain. The easiest texture to make is a grainy noise texture. Just fill a layer with gray, and then click on the wand at the top, noise, and click and drag over until there's as much noise as you want. Click on the wand again, click on hue, saturation, brightness, and adjust the saturation all the way down. You can also mess with brightness if you want. Then save that onto your iPad and it's ready to go. If you want, you could also just paint a bunch of textures onto the canvas. I took the noise and just painted a bunch of random stuff on top of it. Here I was just messing around and here's what I came up with. I saved this texture as well. You could also just use a photo for texture too. A photo you took or saved from the internet or something. Okay, now we can actually start making the brush. Click on the brush tab and then make sure you select the folder thing that you want your brushes to be in. If you go all the way to the top, you can make a new set, which I decided to do. Super creative name, I know. So with the set you want selected, click on the plus sign in the top right corner, and then for shape source, click insert photo, then camera roll, and then select the shape that you made. Then insert photo for grain source, and then pick whatever texture you're feeling. Your shape probably looks like this, basically a tiny version of what we drew. So click on invert shape, and then it should invert the photo so that the U shape is now white, but then the background is transparent. If you want, you can also invert the grain as well. I like how filled in it looks after I inverted it, so I chose to do that. Go over to the stroke tab and then adjust the spacing until the edges are slightly overlapping. And here's how the brush works now. This may be what you're looking for in a brush, but I wanted it to follow my brush stroke. So to get it to do this, go back to the brush settings and in the shape tab, drag rotation all the way to the right until it says follow stroke. And now it should do as it says and follow your stroke. Pretty neat. I think this looks pretty good. And actually, I think it would also look great as cute little shingles for a house. So if you like how this looks, then you're done. I kind of don't like how perfect it looks, for scales anyway, so I decided to mess with the settings some more to give each scale some variation. Under the Shape tab, I bumped up Scatter a little bit, not too much, I want it to still match up on the edges, and then I moved on over to Dynamics and adjusted the jitter for both opacity and size. Again, not too much. And here's how it looks now. It's a subtle change, but I think it looks much better. Oh yeah, and don't forget to name your new brush. I decided that I wanted to do another brush, one that could be used in a more realistic piece rather than the line art one that I just made. Basically, all I needed to do was make a new shape. I made a circle, cut it in half with a soft eraser, and then erased a bit more from the inside until I had this kind of shape. I centered the shape on the canvas, and then I saved it onto my iPad. Since I was basically going to be using the same settings as the old brush for this brush, I swiped over on the old brush and duplicated it. Then I went over to the Source tab and inserted a new shape source photo. I adjusted the spacing again until the edges touched, and this is what I ended up with. Here's my mermaid drawing from earlier this week, where I used a gradient brush like the second one that I showed you guys how to make. So there you go. Go forth and make some brushes. Play with the existing brushes. Go wild. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it inspired you guys to try to mess with the brushes and make your own. If you did like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. I post art videos every Tuesday and DIY videos every Thursday. Thank you to my patrons for helping me produce this video. If you are interested in becoming a patron or learning about what Patreon is, I'll leave a link to mine right up here and you can go check it out. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, and Twitch, and I'll leave a link to all of those down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week.